Oh, hey.
Oh, hello.
We are here in our own private reading room that YouTube set up for us. So what are you looking for? A specific book? A rave review?
A shelf tour perhaps, or what about a bookstore vlog, maybe even a library haul?
Lucky for you, you've come to the right place, the BookTube community.
Book-obsessed creators from around the globe have been sharing their love of literature for over a decade now.
It's like this bridge between old and new, and I can't believe I get to be a part of it.
And as the community has grown, we've seen lots of books, authors, and genres become popular. So, YouTube has helped us source some of the most discussed books on YouTube since 2012.
So if you want some suggestions of books to add to your TBR list, stick around as we share with you the ultimate BookTube community reading list. I started my channel back in 2018. I had just finished a book that I really needed to rant about, so I did a silly little video on my couch, and somehow people watched and joined the conversation.
Yeah, and I was vlogging about my experience at university, and it naturally evolved into discussing what I was reading for my literature major. A community that I was once originally just a big fan of, creators like Cindy, I was now a part of.
All right, let's dive in. Chapter 1, the beginning. Let's start in the burgeoning years of BookTube, way back in the early 2010s.
When I was 12.
I'm not gonna acknowledge that, but those with a passion for reading began posting reviews of the newest YA novels, challenges to test their knowledge, and even writing advice for those aspiring authors among us. The first 3 slots on the list are going to the OGs. Twilight.
Nice catch.
I know, that was a thick one. And Harry Potter. And my favorite, The Hunger Games.
Oh yeah, nice, we do our own stunts.
Thank you. The popularity of these book series and the film franchises they produce helped create a whole new generation of readers on YouTube.
And it's so interesting how they've kind of entered the lexicon. Like if someone said, I volunteer as tribute, or Muggle, we would know exactly what they meant.
It was like a cultural reset, seriously. I know you were a big fan of The Hunger Games. I saw your video where you said these books are going to be the modern classics, and The Hunger Games was included in
And
that.
I will die on that hill. I think The Hunger Games is going to be a book we're still talking about in 100 years' time. I mean, find a booktuber who hasn't mentioned this book at least once on their channel. I will wait.
Okay.
Okay. Now continuing on the YA train, next up is The Fault in Our Stars. This one is fun to talk about because it's actually written by a fellow YouTube creator, John Green from the Vlogbrothers. John has had an incredible writing career. All of his books are somewhere in this list of most popular and discussed books on YouTube for well over a decade. This one is so meaningful to so many people. Do you remember the first time that you read it?
Okay, listen. Were these teenagers very pretentious whenever they talked? Yes. Did I also cry my eyes out at the ending? Also yes.
I think that my copy might be a little soggy from like how much I bawled my eyes out when reading this.
The next book I'm adding to our list is The Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde. This novel was one of the most popular books in 2014 and was featured in many early book haul videos where creators showcase their purchases at bookstores or in TBR List.
My favorite part of this novel were the anecdotes, and I said that in my video before. The anecdotes that are peppered throughout this novel are fantastic. Please do yourself a favor and pick yourself up The Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde. It won the Pulitzer Prize, and with good reason.
Let's move on to our next selections, The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks and The Curious Incident of The Dog in the Nighttime, 2 of the most popular books from around this time. As the community is expanding, so are the tastes. And with these 2 being a non-fiction biography and a mystery novel, mystery is another massively popular genre on YouTube. I think the fact that The Curious Incident features a neurodivergent character is incredibly empowering for people who don't always see themselves represented in literature. And for me, as someone who is not neurodivergent, I found it really an exercise in empathy, of understanding how someone else's brain may work in different ways to mine, and how actually that can be their superpower, that could be the thing that helps them to solve the mystery. And I think that the reason that the BookTube community loves a mystery as much as it does is because it lends itself very well to being a visual thing, you know, when you're reacting to a big plot twist or a character not being who they said they were, that is something that is fun to film, it's fun for other people to watch, as long as you tag your spoiler alerts.
As we move down the shelf into 2016, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention A Court of Thorns and Roses by Romantasy queen Sarah J. Maas, which was one of the most discussed books in the BookTube community that year. Around this time, we're also seeing creators get a chance to interview influential authors on their own channels. On the flip side, we also saw the rise of rant reviews, where creators vocally respond to their issues with popular books. A lot of people actually discovered my channel because I did a series of rant videos about this book series.
I remember them and thoroughly enjoyed them.
I can't not remember them at this point. And what's ironic is that my girlfriend is actually a huge fan of Sarah J. Maas, and you know, I'm obviously not a fan of the books. So not only does this keep our relationship spicy, but it also shows how much the community values expressing opinions and the opportunities to debate in the comments. Next selection is the graphic novel Fun Home, a memoir from cartoonist Alison Bechdel. Yes, the originator of the iconic Bechdel test. If you want to expand your reading palette, this is a fantastic option to try out graphic novels.
This is a beautiful graphic memoir. Alison Bechdel has a real way with words in this, and her art style is distinct, of course. Fun Home is just so good.
Like all great communities that evolve and grow, creators began to seek out and discuss new genres of books and diverse authors.
Books like Americana, written by Nigerian author Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, and the Pulitzer Prize winner, She Said, a book that helped ignite a movement. Americana for me is that perfect blend of funny, but also moving. It's heartwarming, but also heartbreaking in equal measure. It's about moving to America, feeling like an outsider, and trying to assimilate. It's about race and love, and it is absolutely exquisitely written. I just love this book. And what about you, Cindy? Did you notice a kind of shift in the attitudes on BookTube at the time?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think we had always wanted diverse books. I remember just seeing a lot of videos where people would curate lists of authors from a certain race or a certain ethnicity. I personally started the Asian Readathon, where people would seek out exclusively Asian authors to read about, and there's tons of other read-alongs that originated from the BookTube community.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that I took part in your Asian Readathon as well, because I found so many books that I now consider some of my favorites.
This brings us squarely into 2020, when so many of us were obviously spending a lot more time at home. Creators made the best of it with formats like live reading and sprint reading challenges. One of my favorite books from that time is The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. This was the book that made me go through an entire lifetime with these characters. You were following two different generations, and then when you saw them diverge paths and then connect later, it just felt so satisfying to see all these pieces click together.
I was really rooting for Jude and Kennedy, the next generation. It was exciting to see what the repercussions on their lives were as well from what their mothers had experienced. So it is such a powerful book, and one that is not vanishing from my mind anytime soon. Another trend was around the aesthetics of reading. So this is where creators started to try out things like cozycore or dark academia, or what I call dark jackademia when I tried it out for a week. But I also tested out the cottagecore aesthetic, or other writers' writing routines, or reading books that celebrities have recommended. And I think this was testament to the fact that people were embracing that reading is not just a hobby, it can also be a lifestyle.
To 2021.
Other popular books from this period were Half of a Yellow Sun, another book by Adichie, and Normal People by Sally Rooney. I would read Sally Rooney's shopping list. I love her writing so much.
You are a huge fanboy for Sally Rooney.
If Sally Rooney has 0 fans, I'm dead. I think that reading books where you get to see into both characters' heads and the ways that they make mistakes is very reassuring to me. And then, of course, we love to read true stories as well, because if there's one thing about the BookTube community, we are nosy. We love all of the juicy tidbits, and so when a famous person releases a tell-all memoir, you know it's going to be big, like Prince Harry's Spare. And I think it's fun when there is a book on the platform that everyone seems to be reading, you know, because then it encourages more discourse and more conversation. It means that more people can get involved.
To round this out, one book that is on my personal TBR list is Fire Rush by Jamaican-born British author Jacqueline Crooks, one of the most discussed books so far this year. And hearing other creators talk about it has pretty much made it high on my list too, so I can't wait to join the conversation.
I am intrigued to see what I think about this one.
So, how many of these books have you read?
How many do you want to read?
We hope we've given you some ideas for what to read next, and better yet, what to watch next.
Now you can check out all of the creators from this video and beyond, and let us know in the comment section what you're reading next.
Thanks for watching the ultimate BookTube Community Reading List. We hope to see you soon.
Bye-bye.